While you may have been struggling to pronounce the letter R in European Portuguese, did you know sometimes we simply don't say it at all? Well, I'm going to show you the two most important R sounds in European Portuguese, plus the situations where you can skip the R, so you'll finally sound natural and keep up with fast native speakers. Saying it correctly is important, but shouldn't be a major concern, as it won't often lead to misunderstandings. It may give some charm to your Portuguese when you exaggerate a soft R, for example. The danger is when you don't understand a word because we simply don't pronounce the R. I'll explain all about it, but first, how are the two R's pronounced in Portuguese? The strong R, the sexiest sound in Portuguese, can come at the start of a word or as a double R in between vowels in the middle of a word. English native speakers especially struggle with this one, but if this unschooler from England managed to improve it after 1 week, so can you. First, you can start by growling like a dog. Then sigh by pushing air out of your mouth. The next step seems silly, but bear with me. Sigh and growl at the same time as you push the air out of your mouth. And now we're going to use an English word to really feel it in your mouth. Notice how the R is pronounced when you say air in English, preferably with an American accent. Air. Did you notice the tongue moves, but not for long? Now relax the tongue between your bottom teeth and sigh. And now comes the challenge. Say air while keeping your tongue relaxed, touching the bottom teeth. You can try putting a pen in your mouth to remember to keep the tongue down. It doesn't work for me, but hey. The ultimate test has to be with Portuguese words, of course. So here we go. Remember to keep the tongue at the bottom of your mouth with the tongue touching your bottom teeth. Rua, rato, barriga. In some parts of Portugal, people pronounce this R as a R instead. I find it really difficult, but I know some foreigners who find it easier, so feel free to see what works for you. Now, the other R in Portuguese is the soft one, R. In spelling, you will find it either at the end of words, comer, or in the middle of words, amarelo, enriquecer. Probably the best advice out there is to think of the way the T is pronounced in the word better in American English, better, or even the final R in Scottish English, better. Just repeat the word in whichever accent a few times to really notice what your tongue is doing. Better, 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 better. Can you feel a soft trilling of the tongue? This is what we're looking for in Portuguese with a soft R. Here's a couple of examples for you to practice. Amarelo, amarelo, caro, caro, querer, querer. Since you might have trouble making this sound at the end of words, here's some examples with all 5 vowels. Ar, ir, or. Andar, comer, vir, dor, Arthur. Well, there's one more thing. It's possible you will struggle a little when there's a consonant before the soft R. So try adding a mute E, in between the consonant and the R. Instead of escrever, say escrever. Escrever, 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 escrever. There you go. Now that we've covered how both R's are pronounced in Portuguese, it's time we look at the situations where you may not understand us because we don't pronounce the R clearly or at all, and it may be even words you already know. This happens with the soft R only, when it comes at the end of a word. I explain more in detail in my free Listen to Portuguese masterclass. You can check it out in the link below. To make my point here, I'm going to say 3 sentences, twice each, for you to write down. Afterwards, we'll see if you heard any R's or not. Sentence number 1. Ele tá a falar contigo. Ele tá a falar contigo. Sentence number 2. Ele quer comer mais. Ele quer comer mais. Sentence number 3. Ele tá sempre ali sozinho. Ele tá sempre ali sozinho. Before I show you the sentences, I have two questions. Did you hear any soft R's? And do you know the words falar, quer, comer, sempre? I'm asking this just to make sure it's not a matter of not knowing the words, but a listening issue. So, assuming you knew the words, then what you need to understand is, in falar, comer, and quer, the R is at the end of the word. This is where the queen is, meaning the stress. Since the previous vowel is going to be loud and clear anyway, we can afford to skip it. As for sempre ali, I'll ask you, why do you think I didn't pronounce the R? Again, my free Listen to Portuguese masterclass can give some pointers about this. Check the link below. And if you think swallowing vowels and even the R is all there is to European Portuguese, think again. The letter L is one that doesn't get a lot of attention in Portuguese, and yet it really deserves it. Did you know there's two ways of pronouncing the L in Portuguese? I'll tell you all about it in this video.